Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our December community events series here on the second day of 28 days, of about 15 days or 14 days in and around there, from December 14th to the 29th. We are gathering together as a global community and we are sharing the teachings that Dr. Pillai has asked us to bring to the world. So thank you for participating, creating a space that helps us to do more than we could on our own, because the group energy is that much more exponentially powerful. So thanks so much for joining, and welcome to everyone who is new. Welcome to everyone who has been around for a while, and everyone who is coming on from Dr. Pillai's teachings. The door is always open. So hopefully you will enjoy this series. We are going to get into about a 25-minute meditation and chanting session with Dr. Pillai. You'll hear his voice on an audio. We'll be changing the camera view, so you'll be gazing into a flame, a ghee lamp, or 2 or 3 actually today. And you can commune with this Arul consciousness. So what we're doing here is we're helping people to get ready for the new year and let go of everything that has happened during our COVID year of 2020, and to release any challenges energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. This is what Arul consciousness will do. It's omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence. And to also help you to feel renewed. Maybe you've had a bad day or a bad week or a bad month or many months. And it's time to let go of all that pain and suffering at any level that you've experienced it, or continue to experience it even up until now. So the good news is you can dump it in the space. So this is a great way to wash away that which is no longer serving you with the spiritual blessings coming from Dr. Pillai and these sounds, ah, oo, and il, which also create the word Arul. And Arul is not just a word, it is a mantra that protects the mind from any negativity. So who wouldn't want that kind of protection? So the solstice is happening in and around now, or it's coming up. So I don't have the exact date on that, although maybe someone here can post it. And that is when the winter is in the northern hemisphere, and then summer is in the southern hemisphere. So the summer solstice is in the southern, and winter solstice is in the northern hemispheres. So there are very powerful and positive, optimistic energies. We need optimism. We need joy. We need happiness. So Arul will also do that. And then Dr. Pillai is giving the sound Arul to help everyone to remove fear or anxiety or frustration or anger or depression. So how do you get rid of that? Well, there's so much energy coming in from the cosmos that when we align with it, like a divine Wi-Fi connection, then we have a clear communication. And with that clarity, then we can create a new reality. So we can make decisions that are more empowering and uplifting and bring up more esteem, so we can raise our esteem to have high self-esteem. Not that we'll be ruling per se in any way that we are currently in our lives. We could be the rulers of our life, regardless of what's going on. We feel like we're in the back seat. We feel like we can't even get out of the house. We're in lockdown, isolation. We can't move forward. We feel stuck. So this Arul consciousness will erase that. It will energetically disconnect us so that we can invite miracle consciousness to come in, which is Arul consciousness. So it is a bright light during this season of light, and all the different cultures, traditions, religions celebrate this divine energy in the form of light. So we'll have light coming in, we'll feel that lightness of being, we'll feel some sort of shift, more optimism, joy, happiness, and it won't be something that we're just thinking about or talking about or pretending to have. We will feel it and we'll be bubbling up with joy. And so after the meditation practice, we're going to open up the chat for discussion, shared experiences, because that's always inspirational. We never know, hey, did I commune with God? Did I see the God coming into the flames? As we did last night, there are a couple people who sent me pictures, and they were posted on social media to encourage people to join. And that's what it is. How do we know that we've connected with the divine? We've connected with our higher self, God consciousness. God is consciousness, Arul consciousness, miracle consciousness. All these divine beings are always around us, but we don't know because we can't see them with our physical eyes. We may feel it, but then how will we know? So it will capture, thank goodness for technology. Some people have been inspired intuitively. Hey, take a picture right now. Or when you're watching the recording and you felt, hey, this was the point where I felt that energy coming in. I wonder if this was it. And then you take a snapshot and it captures the light coming in, or you may see a different color of light than you do right now. You may see some images. So we may see rays of light coming from the heavens. That's what Arul consciousness is. We need to capture it. It's already there. We have to just unlock the things that are in our way. So the third eye is all about looking from our mind's eye and feeling, knowing, experiencing that God consciousness within. As Christ said, you got to own that kingdom or that queendom from within. And Dr. Pillai's guiding us as a master, an enlightened being. We'll talk a little bit more about that, who is from head to toe, inside, outside, enlightened. So when we can experience that light in the wink of an eye, the body can turn into light. And then what happens? We are miracles. So we get to participate in bringing a tremendous amount of healing energy, not only for ourselves, but for everyone on the earth plane. So thanks everyone for joining. You're welcome to say hello and maybe where you're from. And we'll get into the meditation now to set you up to experience a deeper connection with the meditation, the chanting process that you'll go through next. So I'm going to move the camera. And by the way, my name is Sucharita, for those of you who don't know me, and wishing you all a very warm welcome. So here we go. So as you're getting settled in, you can think of what it is that you want to pray for, or that you would like help manifesting. I'll be dimming the lights. So that you can get a divine experience. With the images on the bookshelf, the altar here. So closing your eyes now, put your attention internally. We'll get set up so that we can experience a deeper connection with Dr. Pillai, with everyone here at the level of the soul. So focus your attention on your legs, the base of the spine, the tailbone area, deep within the pelvic region. We'll call on Ganesha to remove the obstacles for this meditation practice, this chanting practice, to bring us into a deeper connection to our higher self, our God self, to all beings from all realms, including here on the earth plane. We'll call on Ganesha to remove the obstacles internally. So imagine a reddish orangish light pouring down your legs, into your feet, into your toes. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. nirvignam kuru kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Now imagine a ray of light shooting up from your tailbone through the spine, activating the chakras in the energy system, the subtle body. This ray of light pierces the top of the skull and goes into the space. Up, up, up. Bring your attention up. And imagine this ray of light that's connected to your spiritual centers inside of your body, sending an SOS or a signal to the divine to come into the earth plane. Bring in miracle consciousness, grace, beauty, peace, and light and love. 'Tis the season, but we want to feel this. We don't want to miss. We'll begin by activating the chakras now. Bring your attention into the pelvic region, base of the spine. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Move up to the throat, clear the throat. Move up to the middle of the brain, the third eye. Float back down to the base of the spine. Connect with the earth element, even in the legs. Stabilize your practice. Na, 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 na. Move into the navel, the belly. Fill the abdomen with water. Ma, 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 ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Also down the arms and hands. Set them on fire. See, 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 see. Move up to the throat, the mouth, the nostrils. Connect with the air element or the subtle air, prana. Va, 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 va. Move up to the two eyes, the right and left brain. Keep your eyeballs steady, still. Connect with the ether, Akash. Ya, ya, Now, imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you in a form you're familiar with, or a light. Merge with the spiritual transmission or darshan coming from that light. Soak it up like a sponge in all the pores of your skin. Absorb the light from head to toe. Imagine two beams of light entering your eyes, piercing your eyeballs, filling them with light. Two beams of light enter your ears, piercing your eardrums. The light gets into the inside of your head, lighting up the brain, lighting up the inside of your face even. Two beams of light shoot up either nostril. A beam of light enters the tongue, tip of the tongue, middle of the tongue, back of the tongue, and the throat. Absorb the light in your throat. A beam of light enters your forehead, activates your pituitary, the pineal, third eye, in the middle of your brain. The whole brain lights up. And finally, a beam of light enters from above your skull, pierces it. The light disperses in the brain. The whole body lights up. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. And slowly, slowly, you can be opening your eyes, gazing at the flames and the light, or closing your eyes, or a combination as you wish throughout. Enjoy the practice.
Close your eyes and listen to this sound. Now put this sound on different sense organs, particularly the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and the brain. Now put this sound on your right eye. Embrace bliss, embrace joy, embrace happiness. This sound also will generate light, very bright light, like the sunlight. So imagine your body is full of light. Go to the left eye. Also receive the light. The whole body is filled with light. The 2 years. The tongue. Over the tongue. From the throat, the tonsils area. Inside the brain. Now put this sound on your right eye. Embrace bliss, embrace joy, embrace happiness. Go to the left eye. Imagine your body is full of light. The 2 years. Receive the light. The tongue. Receive the light. Over the tongue. On the throat, the tonsils area. Inside the brain. Imagine your body is full of light. Your body is full of light. Don't allow any other thought, just this chanting. Will, the whole body is vibrating the sounds. On the right eye. Left, right. The 2 years. The 2 nostrils. Inside the brain. Spin the sound inside the brain. Arul, 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 arul. Will, will, on the right eye, receive the light. Left, right, receive the light. The 2 ears, receive the light. The 2 nostrils, receive the light. Inside the brain, receive the light. Spin the sound inside the brain. Aul. 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 Spin the sound. Arul, 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 Aul. Aul. Chant. Aul. 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 On the right eye. Aul. Aul. Left eye. Aul. 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 The 2 years. Aul. 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 The 2 nostrils. Aul. 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 inside the brain. Spin the sound. Arul, 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 Aul, Aul, spin the sound. Arul, 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 Aul, Aul, embrace bliss. Embrace joy. Embrace happiness. Now, slowly, slowly, come back to sleep.
Slowly, slowly, let go of the process as you're coming back to your present state, putting attention on your body, your physical surroundings. Take notice of what shifted for you. Maybe take notice of your thoughts, the quality or quantity of the thoughts. Maybe your thoughts have become more cheerful, joyful. Maybe they've lessened. Notice your body. Do you feel heat or cold or cool or tingling, pressure in any of the body parts or the brain, the third eye? Do you feel pain or suffering leaving you? Maybe it's coming up to the surface for you to see and to finally let go. And exchange it with the light. Maybe you got a message from the divine, maybe from Dr. Pillai, as you were moving in and out through the meditation, the chanting. Maybe you have a lightness of being, or you feel filled up with inexplicable joy or happiness or bliss. What is bliss for you now? So as you're coming back, make a prayer to the divine, to Dr. Pillai, for calling you at the level of your soul to come and get your soul's thirst quenched. This is food for the soul. Mantras, meditation, gathering together with like-minded souls, doing something that we may not even imagine or could conceive that this will do way more good for the world than had you not participated. So you've just done something that you may not understand, but you get to experience. Make a prayer of gratitude to Dr. Pillai and to everybody here for committing to the practice today. And then pray for whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life, and then also pray for the world, especially those people who need it the most. Turn up the lights. And slowly, slowly come back. Hello, we're back. So thanks so much for joining, everyone. For those of you who need to jump, and this is going to be going on until the 28th, the chanting sessions, the meditation sessions. So you're welcome to join, or if you can't join live, then definitely watch the recording. It will be uploaded right away to YouTube after this call ends. And then you can watch it whenever you want. So you can do it as an ongoing practice to continue to dive into this Arul consciousness. What is it doing to me today? So many of us are like many of us who were introduced to Arul many years ago. It continues to reveal. So we are these souls that are carrying a lot of baggage, a lot of layers that is covering it up, and then that are covering it up. And then Arul will just peel back the layers one by one by one. And that's a bit of a commitment. Although when we're coming together as a global community, it's pretty easy to do, right? You just show up. So even though some people might feel like, oh my God, I couldn't settle in, my thoughts were all over the place, I was wondering what the heck's going on, it doesn't matter, because your soul doesn't think that way. Your soul just goes and gets what it needs. And then you coming here is because your soul is more intelligent. The thoughts will slow down. So don't worry that, oh my God, I will never have a calm and peaceful meditation. Look what's happening in the world. No wonder. We may think, okay, we're on a spiritual path and we're feeling peaceful and joyous and spiritually evolving, and we do our meditations and then we get out or we have a conversation. And it's like, oh man, you're flipping fingers and yelling and you're like, what? So it can be because we're absorbing all of that is in our surroundings, and it's intensified because never before have we experienced at a global level the fear and anxiety due to this COVID lockdown and then the consequences of being in lockdown. So count your blessings. Even if you think, I just did the world's worst meditation. You didn't. Yeah, that's just at the psychological level. You just did something really wonderful. So allow for whatever came up and said, no, it wasn't a good one. allow that to come up and just be absorbed into the space of the light of Arul. So Kalyani is saying, hi, Suchita, what is meant by spinning the sound in the brain? I also heard Babaji say Arul, and then the sound is ah, oo, and il. Am I right? Yes, you are. So Dr. Pillai has taken Arul and he has given it out in various programs as different ways of awakening God consciousness. So this particular mantra meditation practice is ah, oo, and il. Even though it seems like ah, oo, and il, what the heck? Isn't there an R in there somewhere? So it's not of the human thinking or intellectual mind. He's giving you Arul consciousness, which is the most merciful, the most compassionate sound, just like hallelujah. Can anybody spell hallelujah? Can anybody say it across the board, across the cultures, across the world, across all the different language? Are we pronouncing it exactly the same? No, but when we hear it, what happens? It's a God sound. So it makes us to sing and joy and cry and merge with the divine. So the sounds oo and il, those are the sounds that are going to unlock omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence. So omni, it means it's the big honcho, it's the head honcho, it's the almighty. And then the omniscience is knowledge. So you're all knowing. And then the omnipotence, you're all powerful. You feel empowered, you feel uplifted. And then the omnipresence is all around you, and it's through you, and it's subatomic particles, it's waves, it's quarks, it's universal intelligence, it is the space, it is beyond me. And that's our natural intelligence, although we think, well, no, my natural intelligence is to ask a lot of questions and get some answers. So Kalyani, good question. Spinning the sounds in the brain, if you're paying attention, it will be kind of like doing a washer. You know, when you put your clothes in the washer and it's on spin cycle, what does it do? It cleans them up and then it spins that dirty water out. So that's what Arul consciousness is, taking out over all the negative, congested energies, the thoughts, and spinning them out. And then when we have that sensation of spinning a Arul consciousness, what happens? We feel speed. We feel that we're shifting into a higher state. We're uplifted. Higher meaning get out of the funk, get out of the fear. That's all dragging you down, simply put. So it's spinning us to give us that sensation of speed because time ticks by. Just does it. Seconds go by, minutes go by, hours go by, days go by, weeks go by, months go by, years go by, decades go by, the whole life goes by. It just does that. So we can't speed it up. It's just going to do it. We can't slow it down. It's just going to do. Time is going to do what it does. It's our perception of what happens. So, for example, when we are speed up, when time is flying fast, what is usually happening? We're in a zone. We're in a groove. We're having such a good time. We're working hard, or we're playing hard. We're there. We're focused. We feel invincible. We feel connected to our highest creative potential in that moment. We know everything. We're doing it. We're having fun, and it flies by way too fast. But did it really? No, our experience of it did. Our perception of it did. And that's life. That's vitality. That's creativity. Now, what happens when time feels like it's dragging? Oh my God. It's just the worst. So spinning the sounds gives you that sensation of your brain is being shifted. Your consciousness is cranked up a bit. to align with these cosmic energies, these rays that are always there coming into the earth plane, but we can't grab onto it because we're in the dark. We can't see. So we need to get a rule to give us omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence. And what is that? It's that which is already inside of us. So we'll help to peel back the layers so we can own the kingdom or the queendom from within and feel that royalty consciousness as we're moving through life. Not that we are, have to go to some other plane and that's it, the end of the life on the earth plane. No, you're a light carrier then. And you are bringing in that intelligence, knowingly or unknowingly. You will just be radiating that out. People say, my goodness, what are you doing? And you're so bright and shiny, and you'll feel like, oh, that's not what I'm thinking, but okay. And it can be that you're feeling, yeah, I am. I'm very uplifted, even though I've had 2 hours sleep and the dog just died and someone ran off with someone and so on. And all these things are happening in life that would perhaps previously in your life would have really dragged you down or dragged other people down in the dumps, or having those human dramas going on that really distract you. So a rule consciousness will say ignore a lot of compassion, but also bring a lot of joy and uplift those people who are really down and out, including yourself. So hopefully that answers your question, Kalyani. What are the prayers framed in the altar? Well, this is something that I answered last night. I'll answer it again since you asked it. This is something that was energized in India many, many years ago, and it is a prayer to bring in the light. So it is something that is written in Tamil, and it is a prayer that, like the Bible, the words are there, and you think you're just reading a story, but it's the energy, the intelligence that is coming through. And perhaps some people experienced the light, the divine light. So it's not like the light, electrical light, it is, or even candlelight or ghee, the ghee lamp. These are ghee lamps here on the altar. Wow, this one in front of it is really cranking up, right? That's the light. So, so that's what it is. It's a prayer that is the energy of the divine, and it is radiating out that energy because this is the time for it. 'Tis the season. It's the season of light and love and joy and happiness. It's not just some story that we read. We get to experience it. So this is the manifestation, and thanks to technology, we can see it and we can feel it and we can experience it. It's not just words. So that's what it is. Carol is saying the center of the flame became a lotus positioned God, perhaps Vishnu or Lakshmi. So beautiful, even when the lights came on and turned into a white flash, looking like a white flash looking tree-like. That's awesome, Carol. Vasanta is saying here, Babaji is in, I feel Babaji in me is chanting a rule, and I saw a baby boy watching on me. Wow, awesome. So that's pretty spectacular. Thank you so much for sharing. Johnny is saying here, I broke a coconut and cut up some lime at dusk and asked my ancestors to intervene on my behalf and thank them for my blessing, 10 generations. It's great that you're sharing about the ancestors, Johnny, because this is a time where the ancestors really want us to be reborn. That's why we celebrate Christmas here in the West, or Christians celebrate it, or anyone can celebrate it. Anyone can tune in. But it reminds us it's an act that will go on eternally, where we can birth Christ consciousness, not the guy. The guy is like us. He was a human being, and his job was to come and absorb all the sins of humanity. He was so pure, and only he could do it. So maybe perhaps all of us can be in experiencing the light body, just like Christ did. So we can be born into that lineage. So it can be our spiritual ancestors' lineage, as Dr. Pillai coins the term soul genetics. It's not just your biological genes, although we're all connected if you connect the dots back to when it all began, right? But that might be too overwhelming and people might be naysayers or whatever. So let's take it to a spiritual lineage, which is so much easier to imagine, because how are we connecting with one another? Not because we dialed each other up and said, hey, you're from Australia, or you're from Europe, or you're from wherever, let's meet. And then we'll remember that we said we were going to meet. It doesn't happen that way, but when we meet, what happens? We feel like we've known each other forever. That's the eternal. So Christ consciousness is something that we can tap into in that person who said, I saw the baby boy. Maybe that's the baby Jesus at this time. So this is our spiritual ancestors, our lineage that is allowing us to dive deeper into our practices, not just chant mantras, do meditation, and hope it all works out or hope something happens. We actually can feel it, not only here, but then in our life every day after. So we're building it, we're growing it, we're expanding our consciousness, we're releasing anything that we've absorbed. And perhaps that is our sacrifice. That's part and parcel of our spiritual evolution, is to participate so that we fill ourselves up, and then we go into the life and we absorb that negativity and relief, give some relief to the people around us or community and so on. Not that we're at any level of Christ, but he was just a guy too. And then in the human flesh. But he knew, okay, I'm going to go and study with the masters. And in fact, the lost teachings of Christ, he was in India studying with the siddhas, the masters who taught him how to endure the pain of the cross for the physical body, because he already was light, but they just had to remind him, hey, this is how it is. So some of us may experience that from time to time, where we feel a tremendous amount of tension, let's call it, coming in during the meditation. We feel like, oh, this is too much. But then as we integrate that energy or the spiritual download, if you want to think about computers, we are deleting the files or the software, we're upgrading it, or we're uploading new software to the hardware. And that's helping us to evolve. So that consciousness that's coming in, we don't even know what it is until a few days later, or if we continue to do the practice, it can be dumped in a practice or shortly after, and then the next practice and next practice. So bliss isn't something necessarily that you will feel like, oh, it's so wonderful. It could be a tremendous amount of energy coming in. It feels like you're scrubbing up inside, and that is a good sign, because we want to shine bright like the millions of suns. That's what the divine is. So yeah, that's great that you talked about the ancestors and our spiritual ancestors. So Dubrovka is saying here, thank you so much. It was really beautiful, lovely. When no peeps with a lot of Instagram followers, we should share this message with them. Yes, Johnny, absolutely. I turned my son onto Astraved, and he's a social media influencer with over 43K verified. The message needs to get out to the youth scene. And that's the thing too. When we are inspired, it's beyond our mind, and we can't believe that we're doing this. When we just share it, we don't even know, just like how we came across the teachings. How the heck did we come across the teachings? Maybe someone shared it with us, or we just stumbled across it by something else. So there's always like a 6 degrees of separation. We will be able to track it back 6 steps. And whoa, there it is. And yet it's something that we didn't really contemplate or think about or stress about too much. We just intuitively did it, and we were inspired. So the Holy Spirit, how do we know that the Holy Spirit is the thing? After Jesus went, he said, I couldn't do it in my body, but I'm going to send the Holy Spirit. And that's what Dr. Pillai is making it to be so simply understood and experienced by us. So we want to experience the light and the love and the super consciousness of all these divine beings. There's a lot of Christians around the world, and maybe they don't know, just like I didn't. I was raised a Catholic Christian, and I didn't get it until I started studying with Dr. Pillai. Boom, there it is. So you just, wow, the secrets are being unlocked. So it's not that anything went to waste. It was just like, whoa, this is the mystical, magical rocket ship ride to the divine. So, and then you have this very high perspective. Yet we're here on the earth plane moving about. So it's not like we have to join a ashram or go into a cave and meditate and chant. I mean, you can do that. That's cool if that's your karma and your dharma, but there might be that this is the time where we spiritualize ourselves, and especially during isolation COVID. Maybe that's the big picture. And that's how the divine is going to get us to really start to pay attention and commit to our spiritual practices. Because what else are we going to do? I mean, Netflix, after a while, you've seen everything. So you can't keep watching it over and over. And it dumbs you down. It makes your mind to be dull. So not to say that you shouldn't be entertained, for sure, do whatever you got to do. But if you're doing too much of one thing, it can, you all of a sudden you'll feel like, whoa, why am I so tired? Why do I feel agitated? So this unit, this body and brain has the God's grace inside of it, and God's grace or goddess's grace or universal intelligence or whatever, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whoever it is, nature. It can be that it's calling you, hey, you know what? Okay, be human, do your thing, but don't dumb yourself down. Get some high intelligence. So that's what our rule is. It is so merciful and so compassionate, just like Christ and all the other spiritual masters who have gone before us. They're saying, hey, don't get too distracted. Get into the spirit of the season. And so that's what it is. We're getting seasoned by the spirit of the season. So, yeah. Goddess, since the chanting started, I have been getting so many interruptions. The session will be stalled again and again. And be distracted. We will be disturbed. We will have, whether that's somebody in the space or something happens to distract us, or our mind will just be all over the map like a monkey. And that's okay. Monkeys are going to do what monkeys do. So the mind is going to do what the mind is going to do. Although you're just going to be still and know you are God, regardless of the monkey mind. And eventually that energy or that intelligence will take over. And it will just say, okay, enough is enough. But maybe it's a good thing that the monkey mind is distracting, because then you can really see what the thoughts are, what the distractions are, and then address it accordingly. So a lot of us stick our head in the sand around relationship issues, financial issues, health issues, issues that you need a lot of tissues for. So, and with COVID, you know how it is trying to go to the store and get tissue. It's just not there sometimes. It's really strange. But maybe a lot of people have issues, more so than ever. So they need a lot of tissues. So we don't want to get into that state for too long. So we really see it, and then we start to take responsibility instead of just, not, or doing what we keep doing. So the rule intelligence will say, I know, see, you see it right there. And you see where you're blocking your own joy. You see where you're tripping up in your relationships or your financial state. And be kind to yourself. This is what a rule consciousness will do, is it will help you to be really compassionate beyond what you could be for yourself first and foremost, because how will you be compassionate for others if you don't feel that inside of yourself? So you will feel that a lot of people cry during these rule meditations and mantra practicing, because it's the divine coming in, and you just feel so relieved that You have the light, and it's not just a little pinhole light at an end of a tunnel. You're all light, and you feel so grateful. So even though you may feel like you're distracted and everything, pay attention to your body and to the energy centers, to Dr. Pillai's voice. As someone mentioned, I hear him still chanting inside of me. So pay attention to that. So all it is a distraction means you're shifting your attention. Stuff is going to go on. It's going to be like a storm, but you're the eye in the storm. So you pay attention to being still, and that's all it takes. Boom. That's why having a light, the light of a candle or the light of the ghee lamp that we're using here, can be, some cultures, tradition use different kinds of oils, maybe a mix of 5 oils. If pancha means 5, there's different oils. In Indian tradition can be olive oil. If you're from the Greece or Christian, the Orthodox Christians, they use the olive oil. It can be mustard oil. I don't know. It can be whatever oil, sesame oil, whatever it is in your tradition, you can use it. You don't have to necessarily only do the candle or only the ghee as it is here. So if you're compelled, it's not about converting or any kind of conversion. Do what is natural for you and merge with the divine. Try this ghee out, though. This is it's been around for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Because why? The ghee comes from the milk of the cow, and the cow's milk comes from the cow's blood. So it's like the sacrifice. Like Christ gave the blood, and through the wine, the wine and the bread are representing Christ's blood and his body, his flesh. So the blood is the bloodline or the sacrifice. So all this is very mystical, and if you can get the ghee, then you can trace it back, and whoa, that's the hidden message that I want to transform my bloodline to a spiritual bloodline. And then you don't have to, up on a cross. You can just, or be beaten or whatever had happened to saints. And maybe perhaps you were a saint in some other lifetime where we were all everything. We were sinners and saints and everything. We just never gave up. Here we are again. So just keep going. Johnny is saying here, her son was interviewed by 5 major TV stations in USA, plus Univision and Toronto Carib News this week alone. Wow, congratulations. You've got a beautiful son. Awesome. Timeline jumping works. My son left El Paso and went to Toronto for 10 months, and things began to work and move. Then we reversed and returned to El Paso, then London, etc. The whole time in Toronto, we knew Sucharita was there and tuned in to her vibes in Toronto, but we timeline jumped. Oh, that's great. Wonderful. Thank you for bringing all your light into Toronto. That's great. So are there any other questions or shared experiences on the chat that I missed out on? So what's coming up is time to get together with Dr. Pillai, and these are all free. He wants us to enjoy the free services, the events. So on December 20th at 11 a.m., Allowing God's Will in 2021. So that's coming up in a few days. Please check that out. And that's going to be on Pillai Center YouTube, maybe even on the viewing page. So we'll let you know as we get those details finalized. And then in a couple of days, we are going to get the store posts for the services that are going to be offered, and you can participate if you want to go from this free service, preparing yourself to maybe take an evolutionary step. And what do I mean by that? Is that sometimes the rule consciousness says, okay, are you serious about your path now? Do you feel like, hey, you really want to take a timeline jump? then go and get the karma cleansed. So there can be fire labs, there can be meditations, there can be courses. We really don't know what Dr. Pillai has been receiving from the divine to bring into the earth plane in those kinds of educational ways, this higher education. So if you can, we'll give you that information. Maybe you will be able to participate in those paid services that you'll be doing a timeline jump, meaning that you'll get out of slow time and then you'll take a leap and things will start to open up for you, or not just spiritually, but also in your life. So we use spiritual energy to propel ourselves forward, get us unstuck from low, slow, vibrating energy, long and drawn out drama that we cannot release ourselves from. So more of those details will be shared with you as we go along. So this is a series of chanting and meditation that is going to go from, started yesterday, December 14th, through to the 28th. And the time again is 6 p.m. Pacific time and 9 p.m. Eastern time. Then there's going to be a free Shrimbrzi, which is the goddess of wealth, health, happiness, manifestation. It's going to be a full moon fire lab, and it will be hosted by a Vedic priest who is has been handpicked by Dr. Pillai, and who will be live streaming it on December 29th. So we'll give you those details as well. And that will wrap up this series, take us to the end of the year, fill us up with light in these next couple of weeks, and it'll culminate on this full moon on the 29th of December. And so that is what I have for everyone here as far as what is going to be happening, what is going to be available for you to tune into, to soak up the great vibes free, and then maybe to also consider participating if that's what you're inspired to do. So that's what it is for our call today. I hope that all of you who have joined have learned something, and not just from blah, blah, but you actually communed with the divine, which is your higher self. It's the one that takes you out of a funk. No one can say you saw the light or didn't see the light, or you had this experience or didn't have it. Only you can. So that's maybe as we've been hanging out here and people have been gazing into the lamps there, maybe they're speaking to you at some level, or you're pouring your junk in like it, because the divine is here. Trust me, that light, I don't know where it is coming from, but it's just blasted open, and it's from that middle ghee lamp. Very cool. So Yasmin is saying, oh my God, so profound, light, drunken. Love and gratitude, dear Babaji. So just scrolling up here a little bit. And lots of gratitude, and just people saying hello. Not just people saying hello. Wonderful for people to say hello and where you're from. So that's great. So I think I've gone through everything. You can continue to join in these chanting sessions again if you feel like, hey, I want to continue to dive into these teachings even more afterwards. You can either watch the recording, fast forward it to the chanting practice, or I believe it has been posted somewhere. Maybe it's underneath here. So check out, there's links below this video. Check out those links, and it may take you to an audio practice that you can download. And then you have it, and then just play it all the time. Play it in the background while you're doing your work, or play it while you're sleeping. You're going to sleep and you just have it on low volume. And so the vibration is there. The light of the divine is there. And then you have a really peaceful, deep sleep, or you may have a restless sleep, knowing that you've cleared out some stuff and the light is there. You wake up and you go, okay, great. The light won over the dark. So then you don't have to play that out in your everyday life. So thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. and your encouraging words to everyone. And for us as saying here, glory to Baba, Dr. Pillai, for bringing in Aurora consciousness. Thank you so much. Thank you to Suchitra Bhairavi and Donna Devi, everybody here. Thanks so much. We wouldn't be able to do this. We wouldn't be able to have this experience. And even if you think, hey, nothing happened to me, it will happen. Just keep building this consciousness, keep growing it. And then boom, it's like the seed. You put the seed under the ground. You don't keep digging it up to see, hey, are you growing roots? When are you going to pop up in the soil? So you don't know, but it is. It's going to be that new you popping out anytime soon. All right. So God bless you all. Thank you so much. Padmaji, Ujwala is going to be with you tomorrow, actually the next few days. So enjoy. She's a fabulous storyteller. She'll share her journey with Dr. Pillai and all her stories about the Aurora consciousness, her own experiences and experiences that people have shared with her. And so you'll be entertained, and you will also, she's got a lot of love, a lot of light, and a lot of super consciousness coming through. So enjoy. And we'll see you in a few days in this program, but I'll see you around anyways before then. All right. God bless you all. Namaste.